Imagine standing in front of your mirror. It's morning. Soft light seeps through the curtains, casting a gentle glow across your bedroom. The air is quiet except for the rustling of fabric as you slide open your closet door. You scan through your clothes, blouses in muted tones, a few dresses that haven't seen the light of day in years, jackets that seemed perfect once but now feel a little tired. You pause, you hesitate. And then, with a sigh, you reach for that same neutral sweater. Again, but today something feels different. Maybe it's the way the sun catches your reflection or the quiet awareness rising inside you. You're ready. Ready to reclaim something that has been too long ignored. You're not just choosing what to wear anymore. You're choosing how you want to feel, how you want to be seen, and how you want to show up for the vibrant, beautiful, powerful woman you are right now. This is not a makeover. This is a reawakening. Welcome to a journey that goes far beyond style. This is about unlocking your essence through color, confidence, and connection to your true self. Because after 50, life doesn't shrink, it expands. In fashion, it becomes a language of freedom, a declaration, a celebration. Let's begin with color because color isn't just visual, it's emotional. It speaks before you do. It tells your story without saying a word. And when you understand how to use color not just to flatter your skin but to ignite your spirit, something magical happens. You stop hiding, you start shining. Let me take you into a story. Meet Diane, she's 57. A retired teacher, mother of 3, recently divorced. For most of her adult life, Diane wore black. It was simple, slimming, professional, safe. Black was my armor, she once told me. I didn't want to stand out. I didn't want to make the wrong impression. I just wanted to be appropriate. But something inside her had started to itch. She'd catch glimpses of other women in vibrant scarves or a crimson coat and feel this quiet ache, this whisper. You used to be bold too. She ignored it until one day her granddaughter asked, "Grandma, why do you always wear sad colors?" That question cracked something open. Diane booked a color consultation on a whim. She discovered that her skin had warm undertones. That olive green made her eyes sparkle. That coral brought life to her cheeks. And when she tried on a burnt orange cardigan, she wept. I looked alive, she said. For the first time in years, I saw myself. Now, this isn't about abandoning black or gray if you love them. It's about choice. It's about awareness. It's about rediscovering the palette that matches your energy, your journey, your evolution. So let's explore color together, not as a rule book, but as a rediscovery. This isn't about following someone else's trends. It's about uncovering the tones that bring you to life. Let's begin with a simple exercise. The Choose Your Tone test. Wherever you are, grab a few colored items. Scarves, tops, jewelry, anything will do. You want to mix cool tones like blues, purples, emerald greens, and warm tones like oranges, reds, golden yellows. Stand in front of a mirror in natural light. Drape one item at a time near your face. Watch your reflection, not just your skin tone, but your eyes, your expression, your posture. When the right color hits, something clicks. Your skin looks smoother, your eyes seem brighter, you feel lighter. That's your magic zone. Notice what doesn't work too. Some colors may wash you out or make you look tired. That's okay. This is not a test, it's an invitation. Color is energy. Some hues energize you, others mute you. And at this stage in life, we are no longer interested in muting ourselves. Let's go deeper. Think back to your childhood. Were there colors you loved but stopped wearing? Maybe someone once told you that's too loud for your age, or that color doesn't suit serious women. And so you packed those colors away with pieces of your spirit. But now is your time to reclaim them. Janice, a 62-year-old artist, told me she hadn't worn pink since her 20s. It felt too girlish, too frivolous, she said. But when we explored her palette, a dusty rose brought tears to her eyes. I thought I had to grow out of softness to be taken seriously, she whispered. But I'm learning that softness is not weakness. That moment changed everything. Color can be revolutionary, and yet it's deeply personal. Your color story is unique. It's shaped by your skin tone, yes, but also your memories, your emotions, your culture, your desires. The woman who wears a sapphire blouse because it reminds her of the sea where she first fell in love, that color holds power. The woman who wears mustard yellow because it makes her feel grounded and radiant, that color is sacred. Let's pause here and reflect. Close your eyes. What color makes you feel alive? What hue do you crave but haven't dared to wear? Write it down, try it on. Let it whisper its truth to you. Now let's bust a myth. There is no such thing as being too old for color. That lie has kept too many women wrapped in invisibility. But you were not born to fade. You were born to shine. Studies show that color can affect our mood, our energy, even how others perceive us. Wearing red can increase your confidence. Wearing green can create calm. Blue signals trust. Yellow radiates joy. But beyond the psychology, color is deeply spiritual. In many cultures, color marks transitions, birth, growth, mourning, rebirth. Why should midlife be any different? This is your renaissance, your second bloom. Your time to wear color not just on your body but in your being. So how do you begin building a color-forward wardrobe? Start small. Accessories are powerful. A vibrant scarf, a statement necklace, a pop of color in your shoes or bag. These pieces are invitations, not commitments. They let you test, explore, play. Next, layer with intention. Try mixing a bold hue with a neutral, navy with coral, charcoal with turquoise, beige with burgundy. Don't be afraid to experiment. There are no wrong answers, only revelations. You can also build a capsule wardrobe based on your personal palette. Choose a few foundational colors that harmonize with your skin and mix well with each other. Add accent colors for personality. Think of your wardrobe as a symphony. Each piece has its own note, but together they sing. And above all, trust your instincts. If a color makes you feel powerful, radiant, sensual, or free, wear it. Wear it unapologetically, wear it like armor, wear it like joy, wear it like a love letter to your soul. Because every time you choose color, you're choosing visibility. You're saying, I am here, I am vibrant, I am not done. I am only just beginning. Let me leave you with one more story. There's a woman named Clara, she's 74. Silver hair, laugh lines, eyes that sparkle like mischief. She walks into a room wearing a magenta coat, a silk turquoise blouse, and a pair of vintage orange earrings. She turns heads not because she's trying to, but because she radiates confidence. Someone once asked her, aren't those colors a bit much at your age? She smiled. Honey, she said, at my age, too much is just enough. That's the spirit I want for you. So as we continue this journey together, remember, your style is not about dressing to please others. It's about aligning your outer self with your inner truth. And color is your starting point. It's your mirror, your spark, your invitation to come alive. Let today be the day you rediscover color, not just in your wardrobe, but in your life. You are art, you are light, you are the masterpiece and the painter. And the canvas, it's just waiting for you to begin. In the journey of rediscovering ourselves through style, the next essential step is embracing the art of texture and fabric, because what we wear is more than just color and shape. It's a sensory experience that speaks to comfort, confidence, and expression. When we talk about texture, we're diving into the feel of the fabrics against our skin, how they drape, move, and interact with light and environment. These subtle nuances can elevate or diminish the whole impact of an outfit. Many women over 50 often shy away from experimenting with textures, thinking they are too complicated or too bold for their age. But here's the truth. Texture is one of the most powerful tools you have to create visual interest without adding complexity. Imagine the softness of cashmere, the gentle shimmer of silk, or the cozy depth of a chunky knit. These textures tell a story of comfort, luxury, and effortless style. They invite touch and create connection, not just with those who see you, but with yourself. Let's explore practical ways to incorporate texture into your wardrobe with intention. Start with the basics: cotton, linen, wool, silk, velvet, leather, and tweed. Each carries its own personality. Cotton and linen breathe with you in warm weather, lending a fresh and natural feel. Wool and tweed bring warmth and sophistication. Velvet and silk add that whisper of opulence. Leather introduces edge and structure. Experimentation is key. For example, pairing a soft cashmere sweater with a structured leather skirt creates a dynamic contrast that balances softness and strength. A linen blouse with tailored trousers creates an effortless yet polished look, perfect for casual meetings or relaxed weekends. Don't hesitate to mix these textures, but be mindful of harmony. The goal is to create a tactile story that feels authentic and inviting. This sensory engagement extends beyond just fabric choice. Think about how your clothes move when you walk or reach for something. Does your outfit flow with ease or feel stiff? Does the fabric breathe or cling? This awareness shapes your confidence. When you feel comfortable, you naturally carry yourself with grace and assurance. The power of texture also resonates deeply on an emotional level. Consider the memories associated with certain fabrics. A silk scarf gifted by a loved one, a cozy wool sweater from a cherished trip, or the cool, crisp cotton shirt that reminds you of summer mornings. These tactile connections add layers of meaning to your wardrobe, transforming clothes from mere objects into vessels of stories and identity. Real women's stories illuminate this beautifully. Take Margaret, a vibrant 62-year-old artist who swears by the transformative power of mixing textures in her daily wear. I started layering a silky blouse under chunky knit cardigans, she shares. It made me feel both feminine and grounded. My wardrobe became a source of joy, not just routine. Or Linda, 57, a corporate executive who incorporated velvet accents into her work outfits. It gave me a quiet confidence, a subtle luxury that no one could ignore but everyone noticed. To make texture a mindful habit, try this simple exercise. Next time you shop or organize your closet, pick one outfit and identify the textures involved. Are they complementing each other? Do they express your mood or the message you want to send? Then try adding one new textured piece to your collection. Observe how it shifts your perception and how others respond. This exploration of texture is not just about fashion. It's a metaphor for embracing the richness and complexity of life itself. Just as fabrics vary in feel and weight, so do our experiences and emotions. By honoring this diversity in our wardrobe, we honor it in ourselves. As we continue to build our style foundation, remember that texture works hand in hand with color and shape to create a multidimensional expression of who you are. It invites you to be bold in subtle ways, to delight in the sensory details, and to nurture a relationship with your clothing that goes beyond aesthetics. The next segment will uncover how accessorizing with intention can amplify your personal style and deepen the story your wardrobe tells. But for now, immerse yourself in the tactile world of fabrics. Feel their stories, experiment with their combinations, and watch as your confidence flourishes from the inside out. What if your wardrobe could become a mirror, not of who you used to be, but of who you're becoming? That's the question I want you to sit with as we continue this journey together. You see, by the time you reach 50, life has likely already taken you through a few storms. Maybe you've raised children, maybe you've survived heartbreak, loss, or an illness that shook you to your core. Maybe you've started over more than once, and yet here you are, not only standing but evolving. Fashion at this point in your life is no longer about impressing others. It's not about keeping up with trends or trying to look younger. It's about becoming visible on your own terms. It's about standing in front of your closet and seeing possibility, not pressure. And when your style catches up with your spirit, something magical happens. You begin to radiate from the inside out. Let's talk about reinvention. Not the kind the magazines scream at us about, the new year, new you version that feels hollow and temporary. I'm talking about slow, intentional, meaningful reinvention. The kind that happens when you start showing up in the world as who you really are, unapologetically, gloriously, wholly yourself. Meet Evelyn. She's 62 and spent most of her life dressing to blend in. She told me that for years she avoided red. Too bold, she said. Not for women my age. But after losing her husband and spending a year grieving deeply, she stood in front of her mirror one morning and thought, I'm still here. I'm still me. She walked into a boutique and bought a red trench coat, not a muted maroon or a quiet burgundy, but true fire engine red. And when she wore it, people noticed. But more importantly, she noticed. She noticed the way her posture shifted, how her eyes sparkled in the reflection, how strangers smiled at her like they saw something radiant. That coat wasn't just clothing. It was declaration, I'm not invisible, I'm not done. I'm still becoming. Evelyn's story is powerful because it's a reminder. Reinvention doesn't require starting over. It begins with saying yes to a version of yourself that maybe you've silenced for too long. Let's try something together. Right now, imagine your ideal self. Not a fantasy version, but the woman you're growing into. Who is she? What colors does she wear? What fabrics does she feel most alive in? Is she more structured or more flowing? Does she walk into a room quietly or with flair? This is where a style identity comes in. It's not about labeling yourself. It's about anchoring into an aesthetic that tells your story. Try naming her. Maybe she's bold grace. Maybe she's soft power. Maybe she's bohemian wisdom or tailored radiance. Give her a name that stirs something in you. From there, start building a wardrobe that supports her. Here's a small mindset shift that can transform everything. Don't dress for the role you used to play. Dress for the woman you're writing into your next chapter. That's when fashion becomes transformation. That's when clothing stops being armor and starts becoming a celebration. Now let's talk about fit, because nothing kills confidence faster than wearing clothes that don't fit your current body. And yet, so many women over 50 keep trying to squeeze into their past selves, holding onto jeans that haven't fit in a decade or blouses that pinch at the shoulders but whisper of younger days. Let them go. Your body has carried you through life. It deserves to be celebrated, not punished. Fit isn't just about measurements, it's about alignment. When a garment fits your body well, you stop thinking about it. You stop fidgeting, tugging, adjusting. You move freely, you breathe, you walk differently. That's not vanity, that's freedom. And here's the truth, tailoring is not a luxury, it's self-respect. Take your favorite pieces and invest in having them adjusted to your shape. It doesn't have to be expensive, and the return on that investment is immediate. Confidence, ease, presence. I want to tell you about Linda. She's 55, a school principal, and for years wore what she called her uniform: navy cardigans, khaki trousers, sensible flats. Nothing wrong with that, of course. But when we worked together to update her wardrobe, I asked her, "What's something you've always wanted to wear but never felt brave enough to try?" She whispered, "A leather skirt." But we found one. Black, knee-length, soft as butter. We paired it with a flowing cream blouse and ankle boots with just enough heel to lift her posture. When she looked in the mirror, she started to cry. "I thought I was too old for this," she said. "But I feel powerful." That's what happens when your outside begins to echo your inside. Now let's dive into another layer: accessorizing as storytelling. Accessories are more than embellishments. They are memory holders, conversation starters, and bold declarations. A ring you bought on a solo trip. A scarf passed down from your grandmother. A bold necklace that reminds you of your strength. Too often, we downplay accessories in midlife, thinking they're frivolous or too much. But here's a secret: accessories allow you to be seen in high definition. They're the punctuation marks in your style language. Here's an exercise. Choose one accessory that makes you feel daring. It could be oversized earrings, a colorful tote, a patterned headscarf. Wear it for a week. Watch how people react. More importantly, watch how you react. You may discover something beautiful. A part of yourself that's been waiting to be expressed. And speaking of expression, let's talk about makeup. There's no one-size-fits-all rule here, but many women over 50 were raised in eras of makeup that prioritized coverage and control. Hide the flaws, even out the skin, suppress the shine. But what if we flipped the script? What if makeup became about radiance, not repression? Light-reflecting foundation. Cream blush that mimics a natural flush. A swipe of bright lipstick that feels like a wink to the world. You don't need to wear makeup to be beautiful. But if you want to wear it, let it serve your joy, not your fear. And now, let's come full circle with a deeper truth. Style in midlife is not a performance. It's a reclamation. You're not dressing to impress. You're dressing to express, to reflect your resilience, to hold your story in fabric and texture and silhouette, to say to the world, "I've earned this beauty. I've lived for it, and I will not shrink to fit someone else's version of who I should be." Take a breath. Let that sink in. You are allowed to glow, to shimmer, to take up space, to choose color over camouflage, to wear bold prints or soft pastels, to reinvent yourself daily. There is no expiration date on self-expression. In fact, for many women, the most vibrant chapter of their style begins right now. Let your closet become a vision board. Let your wardrobe be a toolkit. Let every garment you choose carry a whisper of who you're becoming. And every morning when you get dressed, ask yourself not "What should I wear?" but "How do I want to feel?" The answers will change your life. There's a moment, quiet, often unnoticed, when a woman looks at her reflection and realizes the clothes she's always loved no longer feel like they belong. A blazer that once felt powerful now feels stiff. A favorite pair of jeans just doesn't sit right anymore. The body in the mirror looks familiar but also changed. Not wrong, just different. It's in that pause, that breath of uncertainty, where the journey of rediscovering style begins again. This moment isn't about loss, it's an invitation to meet the version of yourself that exists now, to dress her not based on memory, not on numbers, not on someone else's rules, but on who you are in this chapter. That's where silhouette comes in. Silhouette is not about size, it's about shape, it's about movement, it's about honoring the architecture of your body with grace and clarity. It's the outline your body creates when you move through the world, and learning how to shape that outline with intention can change everything. When you shift your focus from hiding your body to understanding its natural lines, you stop fighting with your clothes. You stop feeling like you're borrowing someone else's style. And most importantly, you start dressing in a way that makes you feel alive again. For many women, especially after 50, the body becomes a landscape of change. The waist may soften, the bust may shift, shoulders round, posture adjusts, but none of this takes away beauty. In fact, it adds layers to it, layers of experience, strength, and softness. So why do we try so hard to erase those layers with oversized clothes or outdated expectations? What if we stopped dressing the body we used to have, and instead started celebrating the one that carries us now, with presence, with courage, with softness and strength? The right silhouette doesn't just flatter, it uplifts. It frees you from tugging, adjusting, apologizing. It lets you walk into a room not with hesitation, but with quiet confidence. It turns getting dressed into a ritual of self-respect, not self-correction. It's time to release the narrative that says we have to shrink ourselves to be stylish. You don't have to wear what's slimming or age-appropriate. You get to wear what fits your shape, your story, your spirit. That might be a wrap dress that softly hugs your waist and flows over your hips, moving with you like water. It might be a high-waisted pant that elongates your legs and anchors you to the ground. Maybe it's a structured blazer that gently sculpts your shoulders and opens your posture like you're ready to be seen again. These aren't just clothing choices, they're acts of reclaiming, of saying, this is who I am now, and I deserve to feel good in my skin. Think of a woman standing in front of a mirror wearing a simple column dress. She doesn't fidget. She doesn't hide, she breathes. Her reflection doesn't just show a body, it shows ownership. Not of youth, but of wisdom, of comfort, of power. And sometimes it only takes one small shift to unlock that feeling, a belt added at the waist, the sleeves of a jacket pushed up to mid-arm, a hemline raised or lowered to match the rhythm of your walk. These gestures speak louder than trends. They speak of a woman who knows what she needs to feel at home in her clothes. We've been taught to ask, does this make me look thinner? But what if the better question is, does this make me feel like myself? When your silhouette aligns with your essence, everything changes. Your reflection becomes a mirror of acceptance instead of comparison. You stop seeing flaws and start seeing shape, form, story. You start choosing pieces that drape, that sculpt, that flow, because they follow the lines of your body instead of fighting them. I want you to take a moment and imagine yourself walking into your closet tomorrow. But instead of searching for what hides you best, you search for what honors you most. You find a pair of pants that sit comfortably at your natural waist, that give your legs length and your posture pride. You add a blouse that doesn't cling or disguise, but rather frames your neckline and falls gracefully with every breath. You slip on a jacket that defines your shoulders without restriction. And as you look in the mirror, you don't say, does this still fit me? You ask, does this reflect who I am today? That shift, subtle but powerful, is the beginning of a new style language, one rooted in presence instead of memory, in honoring your form, not resisting it. And once you learn to speak that language, your clothes start to feel like allies, not armor. You don't need more clothing, you need better fit. You don't need the trendiest silhouettes. You need the ones that tell your truth, and if a piece you love doesn't fit quite right, tailor it. Don't let something beautiful sit in your closet because it's not perfect off the rack. Bring it to someone who knows how to sculpt with fabric, who understands curves and posture and motion. Tailoring is not indulgence, it's investment. It's saying, this piece is worthy of me, and I am worthy of feeling great in it. The most confident women I know don't wear the most expensive clothes. They wear clothes that move with their bodies, that reflect their energy, that say, I'm here. I've lived and I've never looked better in my skin. Because you know what? Sexy doesn't end at 50, style doesn't expire, sensuality doesn't fade. In fact, when you step into silhouettes that respect your shape, sensuality begins to return not as a performance but as presence. The curve of your spine, the sway of your skirt, the softness of your blouse brushing your skin, these are the details that awaken that inner flame. And no, it's not about revealing more skin. It's about revealing more you, with intention, with elegance, with ease. So if you've been standing in front of the mirror lately, unsure of how to dress this new version of you, take this as your invitation to experiment, to observe, not critique, to try on not just clothes, but new stories. Stories where your shape is not a problem to solve, but a gift to showcase. Look at your shoulders and ask, what lines flatter this strength? Look at your waist and wonder, what silhouettes could gently define this curve? Look at your legs, your back, your posture, and say, what would honor the way I move through the world? The answer won't come from a trend. It won't come from a magazine or a size chart. It will come from you. From the quiet knowledge that your shape is sacred and deserves to be dressed with care. So stand tall, stand soft, stand proud. You are not dressing the body you had 20 years ago. You are dressing the woman you've become, and she is not less. She is more graceful, more complex, more powerful in her stillness, more radiant in her softness, and more beautiful than ever, not in spite of age, but because of it. There comes a moment in every woman's life where she no longer asks, what should I wear to impress others? But instead, how do I want to feel when I step into the world today? That's the power of evolving into your most authentic self, not just in personality, but in presence. And nowhere does that presence show up more boldly than in the details we used to overlook. The accessories we thought were too much, the jewelry we saved for special occasions, the scarf that once belonged to our mother, the shoes that made us feel like we could walk into any room and own it. This is the art of dressing with intention, not as performance, but as celebration. You see, by the time we're 50, 60, 70, and beyond, we've gathered more than just memories, we've collected textures of identity. And now it's time to layer them in. Imagine standing in front of your closet, not overwhelmed, but deeply grounded. Every piece has a story, every accessory has a heartbeat. You no longer need to ask if something is in style. You only ask, does this piece honor who I am now? Let's talk about accessories, because in our younger years we were told less is more. But now, more can be more if it means more expression, more texture, more of your story woven into every look. A statement necklace isn't too bold, it's a signature. That wide-brimmed hat isn't extra, it's presence. That vintage brooch isn't outdated, it's timeless. The rules, they've changed. Better yet, they're yours to rewrite. A woman over 50 knows the power of a silk scarf. How it can be tied around a neck, draped over a shoulder, wrapped through the hair, or knotted on a bag. She knows how one bold pair of earrings can brighten a tired face. How a well-made belt can shape a dress and the mood. How color isn't just pigment, it's energy. That red isn't just red, it's courage. That gold isn't just metallic, it's memory. And shoes, don't get me started. Comfort is queen, but style doesn't bow to age. Loafers, ankle boots, low-heeled pumps, or statement sneakers, each pair tells a story. Where we've walked, where we plan to go next. You don't need stilettos to make a point. Your posture does that for you, your smile, your eyes that say, I've seen storms and I'm still standing stronger than ever. Now let's talk about self-expression as daily ritual. Getting dressed is no longer about covering up. It's about showing up for yourself, for your day, for your life. Think of it as putting on confidence like a second skin. You open your jewelry box not just to accessorize, but to adorn the life you've lived. You don't save things for later. Later is now. Imagine creating a signature style, not one boxed into trends, but curated from years of knowing who you are and what makes you feel alive. Maybe it's your favorite pearl earrings worn with a denim jacket. Maybe it's mixing modern lines with old-world charm. Maybe it's that perfect lipstick you finally dared to wear. Maybe it's owning a look no one else understands and not needing them to. And if there's one secret to embracing style after 50, it's this: stop asking for permission. Style is not about size, it's not about youth. It's not about fitting in, it's about showing up fully in your now. It's about choosing beauty that aligns with your values, not just your body. Because your body, no matter its shape or season, is worthy of being celebrated, not when it's fixed, not when it's better, but exactly as it is today. You are not dressing for nostalgia, you are dressing for now, for the woman you've become, for the woman you're still becoming. Let that scarf be bold. Let that handbag speak. Let your gray hair shimmer, your gold jewelry shine, your laugh lines light up every room you enter. You are not invisible, you are the main character. And every choice you make, from the way you tie your shoes to the way you choose your scent, writes the next sentence in the story of you. So here's to stepping out each day not just dressed, but expressed. Styled not by trends, but by truth. And seen not by the world's standards, but by your own eyes with kindness, admiration, and unapologetic pride. Because elegance after 50 isn't about approval, it's about freedom. You're not too old, you're right on time. If this message touched you, subscribe and let's keep growing, glowing, and going together.